grounded firmly and evenly. If it's okay to close the eyes, close the eyes. And if you prefer not to, just look down or find a point to stare at or kind of unfocus at, so that you can start to draw yourself more into your internal experience of sitting upright and of showing up to practice, whatever that means for you. Can you fill your lungs completely? And then can you be really patient and particular with the exhalation and approach empty without stressing yourself significantly? And can you be patient with your in-breath so there's no big rush of air, or we begin to limit the rush? So that each breath is curated through the whole practice. And especially for those of you used to practicing with me in a hot room it's so much harder to navigate. So use this time to start to deepen that part of your practice. To be steady in each shape, each transition. To limit the rush. And let your eyes blink open if you have not already had them open. I'm going to mirror this today. Pick up your right thigh and figure four your right ankle to your left knee. And then take your arms straight up overhead and really reach up, lift your fingertips. Feel outer pinkies and outer triceps coming toward center, like you're trying to turn your armpits in. And then lift taller and breathe more steadily. Notice that your pelvis wants to shift, that your right buttock wants to kind of drop heavier, and see if you can level your pelvis and almost feel like you're shifting your pelvis back to the right where it wants to kind of lean to the left. Pull it in. Take another deep breath in like this. And then you're going to move through Warrior Two arms. So flip your palms face down, take your arms straight out beside you. And then from here you'll hinge your relatively neutral spine forward over your figure four leg and sweep your arms behind you. So palms facing in here as if you had a block between your palms. Could you elevate your right seat and heavy your left seat? Now you'll do this on the breath. Inhale, you'll move through Warrior Two to Urdhva Hastasana. Lift your arms up completely, fill your lungs. Exhale through Warrior Two to, let's say, Shalabhasana. With your breath in, go up. When you exhale, tip forward. Do two more on your own. And the next time that your arms sweep forward, catch the front of your right shin with all your fingers interlaced, and then lift your ankle off your thigh and hook the base of your calf muscle on top of your right knee, your left knee, sorry. And then reach down, catch the front of your ankle / your instep, and pull the ankle down so that you smush the calf against the kneecap, and it should get really exciting. And then you're going to flex your foot and point your foot and maybe circle your ankle, keeping pressure backward into the kneecap. And then move to a slightly different spot and try it there. So you're like as if we were rolling your calf with a ball, but you're using your kneecap instead. And then maybe you move to a slightly different spot. Oh God. Try pulling your bottom heel up off the floor and then really press the shin bone forward into the calf. Eric's smiling at me in a funny way. And then you'll lift your leg, and if you can, you'll catch your big toe. And if you don't like to catch your big toe, interlace your fingers under the hamstrings. If you got your big toe, extend the right leg straight forward. Maybe take your left arm up. And then notice that your right hip wants to get droopy into the block. Or actually, sorry, it wants to lift up. Pull it down a little bit and heavy it against the block. So that you can feel both of your sitting bones drawing slightly in and lifting the wall of the pelvic floor up. And you breathe more steadily, take another full cycle like this. And then put a deep bend in your knee, like you're doing a happy baby from seated. And then hold with your left hand outside of your right foot, and any amount straighten your leg and twist open to your right. Push the foot and the hand strongly into one another. Heavy your right pelvis into the block. And then create more lift in your spine. Now you'll put this into a little vinyasa. As you inhale, you're going to untwist, catch your big toe. Exhale, think seated half happy baby. You breathe in, push the leg forward, switch hands, and you'll exhale to twist and lift your spine as much as you can, and then back and forth. Breathe in, come through the middle, half happy baby. Exhale to pull deeper into that. Breathing in, release the leg forward. Use your breath out to twist to the side. Do this twice more on your own. Last time. So you inhale between poses. You exhale into a pose. And the next time that you come through the middle, you're just going to place your foot down, sit tall, back where you started. Hands could rest in your lap if that's okay. Draw your shoulders a little back, your skull a little back, and sit taller. Notice what feels different side to side. Humble yourself to the breathing practice. So that every moment of repose is a way that you come back to the breath, as things generally trail off when they get more intense or swifter. Now, left ankle, right thigh. Arms up, palms face in, armpits wrapping in. Shoulders are lifting, they're not pulling down. If you are newer to my class, the whole thing about pulling your shoulders down with your arms up, let it go. Reach up. Take one more inhale breath where you are. And then you'll exhale through warrior two arms. Tip the spine forward. Palms come in toward each other. With breath in, you'll reverse. Go overhead. Externally rotate your shoulders. And then exhale, you'll tip forward. Palms in toward the imagined block. Again. For two on your own. And the next time that you reach your arms forward, catch the front of your shin with, let's say, interlaced fingers for now. Pick up the ankle and then mush the base of the calf, or somewhere around there, against your right kneecap. Catch the front of the ankle, or instep, and pull backward. So calf into kneecap, kneecap into calf. And then flex, point, circle. Oh, it's so delightful. And then find another spot to play with and do it there. Oh. And then, yeah, keep finding different spots. Try lifting the bottom leg heel. I don't know why exactly that creates so much more, but it's just that push forward with the bottom shin. Move around or stay with what you're doing. Take 2 more breaths. I'm regretting my decisions. Oh, I feel like we should spend 10 minutes doing that, but we won't. Lift your leg and catch the big toe if that's what you did last time, or do whatever you need to if that doesn't work. Extend the leg forward if that's where you're going. Again, you could interlace underneath the thigh. Send the foot forward, take your right arm up. Really lift your right fingertips. Heavy your left buttock against the block. And then sit taller. You want to feel a rooting of the lifted leg femur bone down into the hip socket, back into the hip socket. You want to feel an elevation at your lumbar spine to the best of your ability. Now from here, you're going to bend your knee. Think half happy baby, seated. Catch outer foot with your right fingers, and then send the leg forward and sit as tall as you can. Turn your ribs open to your left. Heavy left seat. And you might straighten the leg, you might not. So see how it goes. Don't force anything. Keep the spine lifting as tall as you can. And now you'll put it into a little mini vinyasa. So as you inhale, center, bend the knee. Exhale, you'll pull the knee back gently, half happy baby. As you breathe in, pass through center. Exhale, sit as tall as you can as you twist. Breathing in to return. Exhale, pull. Breathe in. Breathe out as you express twist. Twice more in your own breath. When you next return, set your feet flat, sit tall, shoulders, ears slightly back, fill the lungs, and empty. This is a bit weird if you are not that familiar with my classes. Don't do it yet because you won't be able to hear me. But what you're gonna do, it looks ridiculous. It takes me right to Third Rock from the Sun, which I probably shouldn't reference right now, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Your fingers are gonna go on the tops of your head, and your thumbs are literally gonna plug your ears. Okay, so don't do it yet, but that's where you're going. And you'll do Brahmari breath, which is just a humming. So you'll inhale deeply. When you're ready, you'll close your ears. You'll exhale as a hum, like a doesn't have to be any note. And if possible, do it 3 times. But again, you won't be able to hear me, so do it on your own when you're ready, if you're willing. So close your ears when you're ready. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in. Twice more. One more time. Sit with that for a moment. Notice your auditory sphere at this moment and what that resonance is like, how it kind of resides in the body for a moment or several. And let your eyes blink open. And you'll move your chair or seat or whatever you've got out of the way. So it doesn't, just put it to the side. We might use it later at the end of practice, but you won't need it for a while. So move that out of the way. And then, sorry, I'm just trying to fix my video. You will move toward a kneeling position. We'll set up the blocks so that you can have padding. So I'm using a total of 3 books, so that they're relatively the same height and they act as 2 blocks. If you don't have that as an option, you can get around it, but it's going to be a little strange. The elevation of the blocks is it's nice. Like, it's going to be easier on your body in certain ways, and give you more space to do other things. You also could have padding for the knees if you need them. If you have weird knees, like you can't bend your knees deeply, some of this you'll have to modify. So you might come at it from a higher position and not do this toe squat thing. But set this up when you're ready if you have something. And then you'll put your knees and the uppermost part of your shin bones right up on the blocks or books. And then you'll sit on your heels in what's called Vajrasana, so sitting bones pretty much on top of heel bones. And then, if you've never done this before, it gets pretty intense for the feet and the shins. So if it's too much, you put your hands forward, and even from right now, you could start here. Put your hands forward and press your hips back. See what that's like. And then maybe you bring your hands to your thighs, and maybe you sit right upright with no hands on thighs, and get taller. Fill your lungs completely. And empty completely. Fill. And empty. There's a bit of distraction in my space right now, but just take a few breaths. Be tall. And then take your arms into cactus and stand up on your shins for a moment. So you're up on your knees and the balls of your feet are still on the floor, so your toes are still tucked, just to give you a moment of relief. And then sit back down if you can and take an inhale to make more back bend, so your elbows tip forward and your palms and wrists go back. As you exhale, make fists, turn them upside down and round your shoulders, round your whole spine. As you breathe in, open the cactus arms and stand up on your knees. And then as you breathe out, make fists, sit down and round your whole back. A couple times. Stand on your shins, cactus arms proper, open the chest. Fill your lung. Exhale, sit, round spine. Knuckles under elbows. Again. Exhale. Now inhale straight up, arms overhead. You're going to step your right foot forward quickly so that you're in a lunging position. Lift your arms, hook your thumbs, and then really strong with your hooked thumbs, pull your arms up, and then side bend to the right. Find your back, shin / knee. Think of pulling it forward, like more to the front of the block. Then make your arms straighter and really pull on your thumbs. As you next breathe in, come up through vertical. And then land your fingers, frame your front foot, straighten just your front leg, leave your back knee on the block if you can, and then bring maybe your right foot closer if you need to see if you can sit back on your left heel. So that you're in that same situation from before on the left leg, and now the right leg is forward and half split. If you can keep that, put your right fingers to the right, catch the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand, and then play with the angles here. Push the foot into the fingers. Roll the right thigh bone internally and externally. And think of pulling your right seat back and down. Now you're probably feeling a lot of tension in the left toes right now. Shift forward, bend your front knee. This is weird. Point your back foot. Keep the toe knuckles on the floor and lift your left knee. Now, as you do that, you'll feel stretch in the front of the foot. So I want you to tip to the pinky and then tip to the big toe. So this is like a lunge on pointed foot. You're mostly focusing on front of left ankle here. And then if you want to, try straightening your front leg so that it becomes a pyramid pose with like a, ballerina foot, back leg. And then you can wiggle side to side here and continue to roll across the top of the foot. Again, if your front knee was bent, it would be far less intense, so do that if you need to. And then bend both knees, tap your left knee back to the block, tuck the toes under, and then lift into a regular pyramid pose and just let your left ankle have a moment. So maybe move it around a little bit, roll to pinky, roll to big toe. And then tap the left knee back to the block. Send the right leg out to the right. See if you can sweep it underneath. So you're back where you started. Sit tall. Elevated in Vajrasana. Take cactus arms. With your next breath in, stand on your knees. Tip your chest up. Back bend. Breath in. Exhale, make fists, turn the knuckles upside down, round your spine as you sit. Do it again, breathe in and stand and externally rotate the shoulders. Breathing out, make fists, round the shoulders and the knuckles back, elbows forward. Do it again for 2, breathing in, back bend. Firm buttocks here. Exhale, go back, round spine. Again, one more time, cactus, express. Exhale, sit, round, knuckles back. And as you breathe in, stand and just straighten the arms, so Urdhva Hastasana arms. Step your left foot forward, hook your thumbs the other way, lift your arms up more, and then side bend left. Really pull on your thumbs to straighten your elbows. Right knee, right hip, forward and up. As you breathe in, come back to vertical. Land your fingers with your back knee down, straighten your front leg, and work it so that you sit back on top of your right heel. So it's kind of like an echo of what's called Triang Mukha, something or other. Right hand outside left foot. I never really focus on Ashtanga. Left fingertips beside you to the left, and then push your foot into the hand and pull back against it. Wiggle a little bit. Move your thigh bone around. Move your spine. Feel your shoulder blade moving forward, back. Okay. Now, feel what's happening in the right foot. Come forward, bend the left knee. Point the right toes. You're on the toe knuckles as you lift the back knee. Front knee still bent. Rock towards your big toe, and then rock towards your pinky. And then do that and stay there, or try straightening the front leg as well. So, very modified pyramid pose. Rock to big toe, pinky toe, back and forth like that. And then rebend the knees, tuck the right toes, just have a moment in regular pyramid pose. Hands pressing forward. Hips moving way back. You'll bend your knees, right knee on the block, left foot steps back, tuck the toes under, sit back in Vajrasana. Take a moment here, nice upright spine. Now, some of you will need wider feet for this, and some of you, again, these little weird squat positions may or may not work. So come up higher if you need to and like squat down from a standing position. If it's possible, you're gonna reach your arms forward, you're gonna hollow your body a little bit so belly pulls back, and then I want you to see if you can lean with your chest and hover your knees just a tiny bit, and then tap them back to the blocks. It's gonna be super awkward, you're gonna feel really really like rocky and unstable. Hover your knees, and then tap them back to the blocks. Now, could you hover your knees and pause a moment on the balls of your feet? And then what if you tried to land your heels and you'll reach your arms forward and round your spine? And then what if you lifted back up and tried to, with control, without crashing, do both knees at the same time, tap them to the blocks. And then again, hover, touch your heels, hover, and tap your knees. Do it back and forth. My feet are starting to freak out, so maybe you have one more in you and maybe you can do more than I can, but last maybe 2 like this. Okay, stand, point the toes, whack the toe knuckles against the mat. Move the feet around as you need to. And then tuck the left toes and point the right. And then lift into this tiny little down dog on, again, like ballet foot. And then rock to pinky, rock to big toe. Far less intense than in the pyramid situation, but fairly similar to what you did in the lunge. Now tuck the right toes and switch. Toe knuckles, left foot, and then rock. Thanks. Alright, and then tuck the toes and widen the feet right to the edges. Walk your hands closer. Put the blocks to the sides. Put them forward if you know that you'll want them. And then you'll come to stand. Nearer the top of your mat. Okay, so the day has come that we're going to do this crazy cross-legged sequence, and you might get very confused. It's really quite simple once you get through it, but it's awkward because it's never simple when you're crossing your rights and left and trying to work with strange contralateral stuff. So you're going to stand on the left edge of your mat, so your right foot is where your left foot would normally be, left side of center. And then you're going to cross your left foot in front of your right foot. Now you could have blocks at the edges of the mat for this. You can see how it goes. But you're in crossed legs. If your left heel doesn't land, that's fine, let your left heel be lifted. If your feet can plant your feet. And then root your feet into the floor. And firm the back of the flesh of the buttocks down slightly. Think almost towards your forefoot. So instead of just buttock down, what if it was just like a hair forward without tailbone tucking? Okay? Think about it. Play with it. See how it goes. You're going to reach your arms up, take a deep breath in. Firm legs. Fold as you exhale. Keep some of the firmness around the outer hips. In these crossed positions, your back ankle or back foot is always going to step first. So from the front of the mat, you're going to step your right foot back. It's going to stay on the left of center. Bend your left knee deeply and lunge. So you're in a cross-legged lunge. And then from there, You're going to press your hands and step your left foot in front of your right to be in cross-legged down dog. You're going to rock forward toward a plank. You can put your left knee down if you need to, and think of it more like I like to call it lazy up dog, or like a high cobra. If it's possible, keep your legs straighter, pull your chest forward, and do kind of a strange up dog variation. Shoulders won't pull back as far as normal. If you had blocks under your hands, that would make it a lot easier. But see how this feels. Take another breath in. And then push back, down dog, cross-legged. The back foot steps first. So your right foot is going to step around your left to your left thumb. Right foot, left thumb. We're playing Twister today. Bend your right knee deeply and lunge. Stretch your back leg longer and keep your chest really lifted. Now from here, left foot steps behind right foot. You're back in cross legs. You've switched sides, you might notice. Press your feet and come to stand. Arms reach way up. And then you'll fold and we'll start to move more on the breath. Left foot steps back, your cross-legged lunge, inhale. Right foot in front of left, cross-legged dog, exhale. It's an up dog, breath in. So you'll come forward, lift your chest, fill your lungs, and then go back. Exhale, back foot steps first, left foot, right thumb. Take an inhale. Right foot behind left, exhale. Stand, inhale, arms up. Join the palms, close it off. Exhale. Go up, one breath in. Fold. Patiently, breathe out. Back foot steps, right foot, inhale. Left foot in front of right, cross-legged dog, exhale. Up dog, breath in. Down dog. Breath out. Back foot steps first. It steps across the midline. Inhale. Back foot behind front foot. Exhale. Stand up. Arms overhead. So even if you're on the wrong side, it doesn't matter. Exhale, join your palms. It's just back foot steps first. Inhale, go up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back foot steps. Exhale, front foot in front of back foot. Down dog. Inhale, something like up dog. Exhale, down dog. Back foot steps. I'm going to stop cueing rights and left in case you've gotten confused. Back foot steps forward. Cross legs, fold. Stand up, arms overhead. Join the palms. Exhale. Inhale, 1. The fold is 2. Step back is 3. Down dog, 4. Up dog, 5. Down dog, 6. Back foot steps, inhale, 7. Exhale step, 8. Inhale, rise, 9. Exhale, join the palms, 10. Again, like this on your own. Back foot steps. Then you're in cross-legged dog. Inhale. Back foot steps. Once more. As you get to standing this time, find your way out of cross legs.
And you'll stand in Tadasana. So you can have your feet together. If you have sensitive hamstrings, you probably want your feet hip width, or sensitive low back, feet hip width might be better for you. Take your arms straight down by your hips. Firm the buttock flesh toward the forefoot without tucking your tailbone. Think about that. So that Tadasana is not just stand there pose, but stand there like you're standing for something. Exhale completely. As you breathe in, arms rise. Fold as you exhale. Firm outer hips. And lengthen with your breath in. Step or hop. Vinyasa, simple, down dog, maybe no chaturanga. Back bend of your choice, up dog or cobra. And then round to lift, downward facing. You're going to push strongly into your hands. Send your thigh bones way back. And luxuriate in something so simple after that opening sequence. It's good for your brain to get scrambled by some of this stuff, you know? Think you're doing a Sudoku puzzle. Find stillness if possible. Notice all the little ways in which you'll shirk that. For me, it lately is wiggling my toe knuckles for no real reason. As you breathe in, lift your heels, look forward, and then bend your knees deeply and step or lightly spring in front of your mat. Take halfway lift as you get there. Fold, breathe out, maybe back to the hands, down for wrist stretch. Press the feet, use your legs, come to stand. Firm outer hips a little. Exhale, join the palms. Tadasana. Do it again, arms up. Fold, exhale. Lengthen. Step or hop. Back bend. Down dog. Pause and push. Make your arms straighter. And send your hips further back. Deepen the creases of your hips. With your next breath in, lift your heels, look forward, bend your knees deeply, step or lightly spring. You'll lengthen as you get there. Fold, exhale, maybe wrist stretch. Press your feet and sweep up. Use your legs. Join your palms, exhale. Now if you want to keep working with Surya A, do that. I'm going to lead you through Surya B, which just adds lunges. You can use high lunge or warrior one. I'm going to use high lunge. Generally this is the way that I go. But if that's hard to balance in too much, use warrior one. So it's hard for different reasons. But take your arms down. You'll breathe into chair pose. So just one breath in, sit low, reach your arms way up. And then fold as you exhale. Maybe straighter legs, maybe not. Halfway lift, long spine. You'll step or hop. Point the toes, back bend, inhale. From the belly, lift up, downward dog. Right foot steps forward. That's the bottom of the exhale. You'll inhale up. And probably won't get it this time if that's new to you, but see how it goes. You'll exhale to come down. This is very optional. Look here if you're unsure what a handstand hop is. Step halfway back with your right foot. Straighten your back leg as you lift it. And then swing it from the floor toward the ceiling. And see how it goes. This is very optional. Be careful if you have breakable objects around you. Step back and take vinyasa or skip it. Back bend, inhale. Down dog, exhale, steps your left foot. You inhale to rise. Exhale, lower the hands. Step halfway back. Inhale as you swing, if you're doing it. And then exhale to chaturanga. Probably stepping back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Pause, push into the ground. Find steadiness. Go to your breath. Fill. Empty. To your next breath in, lift your heels, look forward. Bend your knees, step or hop. Lengthen, inhale. Fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Join your palms. Breathe out. Do it again. Inhale, chair. Fold when you're ready. Lengthen. Step or hop. Back bend. Down dog. Right foot steps. You inhale up. Exit any way you like. Down dog, left foot steps. Down dog to pause. Push. Last breath here. Lift your heels, look forward. Bend your knees deeply, step or lightly hop. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chair, breathe in. Tadasana. Breathe out. So, you may want to block here. You'll forward fold. I'm going to turn to face you for this, so you can do whatever you need to. But stand with your feet close together. Anyone warm? Okay. So, I'll mirror you for this. So you'll lift your right leg. You could use a strap if you need it, or like a sash of a rope or something. Hold the front of the shin if you don't want to straighten your leg. If it's possible, you'll hold your big toe. Right piece fingers, right big toe. And then send the leg forward. And notice how your right hip wants to hike up. And see if you can hug it down. Push the big toe mound forward. So there's activity in the foot working against the fingers pulling on the toes. And then go up with your left arm and make your standing leg firmer. So both outer hips are slightly compacting. Same thing we've been talking about a lot. Much harder to manage here. Last breath. Now you're going to bend the knee, bring it in like that half happy baby situation. Catch the outer foot if it's possible. Catch the outer knee if you know that's not going to work. And then start to straighten the right leg if it's possible. And maybe it doesn't all the way straighten, that's totally fine. But lift your chest. Try to straighten your standing leg. And then breathe more. The foot shouldn't be pulled way across center. Push it out to the right into the fingers. So there's a bind between your hand and foot. Now untwist, bend the knee, bring ankle to knee for figure 4 and start to fold. So if you can, I'm going to put my hands on block and fold over the legs. Ooh, actually a really nice option is to maybe find a wall or a couch and push into wall or couch and send your hips back. Whatever you want to do, if you really love arm balancing, you could do that. But I'm more looking at this as a moment to relieve both outer hips, both legs. Try to press your standing leg knee into the outer ankle. Again, creating a bind between the two limbs. Right, come back up towards standing. Let it go. Your standing leg glutes are probably feeling some stuff. Stand tall. Feet close together to start. Find an object, a strap or whatever if you need it. Lift the right leg. Left leg for you. Hold the front of the shin, and then maybe hold the big toe if you did last time. Extend the leg forward. Straighten it as much as it'll go. The right arm up alongside the ear. Notice if left hip is hiking, pull it down. It's not a wrong movement to let your pelvis go askew. It's just not the pose as it's, as I have understood it to be practiced, or as I have been instructed. Push the foot into the fingers. Make your standing leg stronger. Last breath. You're gonna bring the knee in, catch the outer foot so you'll switch hands, and then stand tall and work the left leg towards straight. See how it goes. There's still quite a lot of sensation if the knee is slightly bent. Pull your lifted leg hip down a little. Go up with your crown, up with your sternum. Last breath. You're going to unwind. Figure 4, ankle to knee. Hands could be on block or floor or the wall. You move around. You could do the arm balance if you did it last time. All right, now come back up, release. So, you'll move back toward the top of your mat and stand with your feet together or hip width distance as you prefer. And then bend your knees, take a chair pose, just a breath in. You're gonna fold as you exhale, round the spine. Come up halfway, and then step or hop, vinyasa, or skip it. Back bend. From the belly, down dog. You're going to tap your knees, inhale, cow. Untuck your toes. Exhale, child's pose, hips to your heels. Come to fingers, roll up to sit. Switch to cross legs if you can't sit like this. Push your fingers down, lift your chest. Back bend. Let the head go back, but don't collapse it. Now push off your fingers, catch your knees, pull your ribs back, and round your spine. Take a breath like this. Full exhalation. Now stand up on your shins, rise your arms up overhead. Step your right foot forward and tuck your back toes. You're going to make it into cactus arms. Take a breath in, back bend, open the chest. Like earlier, make fists, turn your knuckles upside down, round your shoulders. Now stay here and hover your back knee. Pull front foot to back foot to front foot. You're going to inhale, express, back bend, go back to cactus arms. Exhale, pause here, open your chest. Take another deep breath in. Full breath out. You're going to reach up, high lunge. Place your hands on your right thigh, just above your kneecap, and then hop your back foot in a couple steps. Come to the tip of the toe, and you can stay on it, or lift the leg, or find your blocks and put them under your hands. But lift your chest. Maybe you play with straightening the right knee today. If that's not super comfortable for you, have a little bend in the knee or a lot of bend in the knee. But maybe you play with it for today. Maybe you take your arms forward. Maybe you're happy with them back there. If possible, you're going to bend your top knee. So hamstring curl your top leg. Squeeze the heel toward the buttock. Now lead with your sternum. Stand and hinge to stand. So your spine stays really long. Left knee comes out in front of you. You're going to keep the left knee forward if it's possible, and you're going to bend your right knee. You could even start to straighten out your left leg, like you're looking to do chair pose on one leg. Now come back up, tip through warrior 3, any arms. You'll step back, put your fingers down, bend your right knee deeply, and then straighten your right leg, pyramid pose, just a breath out. Rebend the knee. Ground your hands, step back, down dog. Take vinyasa if you want. Tap the knees, inhale, cow. Child's exhale. Roll to sit, keep moving. Slide your fingers behind you, take a deep breath in. And then catch your knees. Pull your ribs back, round your spine. Stand on your shins, arms up. Step the left foot quickly forward, take cactus arms, tuck your back toes. Take an inhale, more back bend. And then exhale, fist, round spine. You're gonna hover the back knee. Stay and pull the 2 feet toward each other. Now back bend, cactus proper. Start to straighten your back thigh. Stay for the exhale. Stay for another full breath. Reach up. In. And then put your hands on your front leg, just behind the knee. Hop the back foot in a little. And then lift it if you're comfortable. Do what you need otherwise. Maybe you try straightening the standing leg. And then bend the top leg. So your hamstring curl in your top leg, or what I often refer to as a scorpion tail. Hug your left buttocks in. Maybe your arms are elsewhere. Now lead with your chest and hinge to stand. Right knee comes out in front of you. You're gonna maybe come toward a one-legged chair or like a high pistol squat variation. Now come back up, tip through warrior 3, any arms. And then step back, hands down, straighten your front leg, pyramid pose. Straighten the knee completely if you can, take a breath. And you'll bend your knee, ground your palm, step back, down dog, maybe vinyasa, maybe not. Back bend. Down dog. Cow. Child's untucked toes, keep moving, roll right to sit, fingers behind you, take 1 breath in. Catch your knees. Exhale completely. Stand to the shins, arms rise. Right foot steps, cactus arms, tuck the back toes. Take an inhale, back bend here. Exhale, make fists, turn them upside down, hover your back knee. Inhale, cactus, straighten the back leg more. Exhale, fists, round the spine completely. Once more, back leg straight, cactus arms, inhale. Bend back knee, keep the fists this time. Put them behind your back ribs or more toward your lumbar if you need. Straighten the back leg and come toward warrior 3 if you can. Hug your right hip in, keep the fists pressing, come up to stand. You may want your arms forward for this. If you're interested, try it with your hands behind you like this, it's a lot harder. And then come back up. Tip into warrior 3, just the exhale. Come back up, breathing in. Hands on something if you need, arms forward is a lot easier. One more time. Now step back, fingers down, take an inhale here. Straighten both legs as you exhale. Take a breath, pause. Now bend your right knee, turn to your left, parallel feet facing the side of the mat. Inhale here, fingers under shoulders. Exhale, bend one of your knees. Come to center. Bend your other knee. Turn back to the front of your mat, ground your hands, step back, down dog. Take a deep breath in, a full breath out. Tap your knees, inhale, cow. Child's. Roll up to sit, fingers behind you, take your inhale, peak here. And catch your knees, hollow body. Stand to the shins, arms rise. Left foot forward, tuck your back toes, cactus. Take an inhale here, back bend. Make fists, turn them upside down, hover your back knee. Inhale, cactus, straighten back leg more. Exhale, fists, round spine, back knee bends a lot. One more time. Now put the fist behind the back. Straighten the back leg, start to straighten the front leg, float toward warrior three. Keep your fists pressing. Lead with your chest, stand, right leg in front of you, and then left knee bends, hips sit low, and then come back. Super smooth as much as possible, warrior three. This is the exhale. You'll inhale between poses. Exhale into the pose. One more time, breathe in through the center. Exhale, land the pose. Last one. Now you'll step back, put your hands down, straighten your front leg, take a deep breath. Now bend your knee, turn to the side, parallel feet, fingers under shoulders, take a deep breath in. Bend your right knee as you exhale to center. Bend your left knee, but don't turn. Come back to center, two straight legs, parallel feet. You're gonna bring your heels in a little, so your feet are no longer parallel. But your heels came closer. Your toes didn't, you didn't go from the toes, go from the heels. And then bend your knees, stick your elbows up against your inner knees, and squat. It's kind of a high goddess, or a low goddess pose, but a high malasana, a really wide-footed malasana. Use your elbows to peel your inner knees apart. You move your shoulders, you can stay completely still. Take another breath like this. And then turn toward the front of your mat. Ground your hands, step back. Take a vinyasa or don't. Okay, you're gonna step your right foot forward. You're not gonna like me for this. Put your back knee down. If it's possible, find a block or a book. And I want you to pin the block between the back heel and the back buttock. But just showing you it for now, hold on for a second, you're gonna have to lift your leg first. So you're gonna come toward half moon. You could use your other block, the front corner of your mat if you like. So float your back leg and then insert the block between heel and buttock. Squeeze it strongly and then take your left arm up. Make sure it's placed in a way that's not going to open it. And then get longer on your underside waist. Don't let your your right knee turn to the left. Spin it straight forward. And then you might eventually start to look up or whatever you want to do. But send your left thigh behind you and really firm the book. So hamstrings should be talking. And then this is very optional, but you could put your hands down, maybe keeping the book. Come to the ball of your right foot, and then keeping the book, take little flicks off your right toes. And keeping the book seems to be a lot harder than I remember. Oh wow, okay. I've had enough of that. Straighten out your left leg, shoot it back. Make your left leg straight and take a moment, you're just in a weird lunge position. And then you'll step back, go to down dog, stay, and feel how your left hamstrings are talking loudly. Okay, tap your knees, sit to your heels. Broaden your collarbones. Take a couple of calming breaths. And in this folded knee position, the hamstrings soften, shorten. So hopefully giving you a moment before you have to get to the other side. Step your left foot forward. And then put the block or book to your right. Put the other block or book to the left if you're using it. Float your back leg first. You're in half moon first. Then find the book option. Squeeze it between heel and buttock.
And then send the right thigh a little back, and the right arm a lot up. Pull your left hip in. Get longer on both sides of your waist. And then if you tried it last time, and if you successfully kept the book, good for you. Shift your shoulders forward, lift the block up, and then little springs. Oh. Ah. All right. Hopefully you're more graceful than I. Very hard to talk through. Step your right foot back, straighten your right leg, and then you'll step back to down dog. Push, pause for a moment, take a couple breaths. And you're going to tap your knees. Sit for a moment. Whew. Okay. So you will need to set up your little bookshelf. That wasn't planned. But like I often would refer to 2 blocks like this as a shelf across the middle of the mat. Set them up there. And you're going to go back to this kneeling position on the books, Vajrasana. Maybe I should face you for this. I don't know if it'll be any more helpful, but we'll see how it goes. So, sit tall. I'm not going to mirror this because it'll just be too confusing. You're going to stay with your left leg exactly as it is. You're going to step your right foot out to like a squat. So like a squat in your right leg and a Vajrasana in your left leg. And then step your right foot further forward. You may need your left hand on your left. If it's possible, keep your hands lifted. Bring your foot straight out in front of you. Try to balance on your left and hover your right. And you might take your arms up, you might take them out, you might keep them on the floor. Now what if you tried to sweep the leg around and come right back into Vajrasana? So you bring the foot right in underneath the butt, and you switch sides. Left foot steps left, a little forward. The foot might stay on the floor the whole time. You might not even be able to balance on the one toe squat leg. Send the leg forward, maybe, maybe not, and then see if you can sweep it out, step it right back underneath of you, and try it again. Maybe this time you don't even step your foot forward, you just hover it and swing it forward. I've been doing this for a few days, so getting better at it, but you see how it goes. So float the leg if possible, sweep it out and around, forward, and then sweep it around, and bring it back underneath. Now this gets a lot harder. This is very optional. Take your leg forward. What if you tried to bring it into figure 4 with no help from your hands? And then try to balance there. And then reverse. Your feet might freak out. You might need to stand up at some point. So left leg swings out. You try to bring it into figure 4 with no help from the hands. And then swing it around and put it back underneath. Now I'm going to come to stand and give my feet a moment because they're freaking out. So the forward fold is where I decided to go. You could also do this thing where you have the toe knuckles on the floor. You should do that probably in between if you are going to continue, because there's one more thing. It's going to be hard. So find the kneeling position one more time. Really, we should have turned the cameras on for this, but we'll go with it. If it's interesting for you, hover off the blocks, and then in the hover, step a foot out. See if you can keep hovering. Step the foot further forward, and then you might, and I mean might, try hovering straight forward. Ooh, it's hard. And then swing it back around. Ooh, land on the blocks, move your foot around for a second, and then you might try the other side. I was a lot more successful at this yesterday. So sit on the heel that's underneath of you, especially if your knee is hovering. And then what if you tried to, oh there we go, send the leg straight forward, and then bring it back around, ooh, and fall. You might try it once more. What I've been thinking about in the last couple of days
is with this right leg forward, what if you tried to land the heel and come into toe squat or pistol squat, and then lift the heel and tap the knee to the block, and then lift the knee and tap the heel to the floor, and then lift the knee and tap to the block. Oh my god. Okay, set the feet down, take a second. Move your left foot, do something relieving to your left foot or whatever side you were just on, if you even tried that. Oh my god. Okay, so I gotta do the second side. So hover, proper hover, and then step the other foot forward. See if you can ground on top of the heel, send the foot forward, and then knee to block, and then heel to floor. Knee to block, and then heel to floor. And really, it would be better if I could be slightly more in control of it, but I didn't. Oof. Okay, when you're ready, let it go. I didn't practice that part quite as much before today. Whew. All right, so unfreak that foot. Take a sec. How are y'all doing? Well, I've lost some people. I think I got rid of. I freaked some people out. Okay, so to relieve some of that, take a block or a book. I would put it close to the wall, but you can do it in the middle of the room if you want to. You're gonna put the ball of your foot up on the ridge of the block, press your heel to the floor, and then shift your weight forward. A little more bend in the knee, make the leg a little straighter, go back and forth, try both. Sorry, I'm getting a message, I just want to make sure what's going on. Sweep the leg. Okay, so if you're in the calf stretch, if possible, you're going to angle the foot to the diagonal to the right. So the heel goes left and the toes turn right, and you do the same exact thing. And then the heel goes right and the toes go left. My book is falling apart. Could have just used blocks. So now you're stretching more at the pinky edge. And then let it go, move your foot around, do the same thing on the other side. So ball the foot up on the block, heel to the floor. Press the pelvis forward, press it back, put more bend in the knee, straighten the knee. And then foot angles out, you're more on the big toe mound. Then straighten, shift forward, whatever you want. And then angle toes in, heel out. So you're more on the pinky. Alright, and then you'll let that go. And you'll start to make your way toward a sitting position. And you'll straighten your legs. Yeah, come to straight legs, wide-legged forward fold. You're going to take your left hand outside of your left seat. Take the back of your right hand outside your left knee or shin, and then slide right hand down outer left leg. Now notice your right hip wants to lift. Try not to let it. Come back up. Ground your right pelvis, and then do it again. You almost have to shift your pelvis to the right. Kind of like we talked about on the block at the beginning, or on the, whatever that thing was, the seat. Slide your hand down your outer leg, heavy right hip, and then come back up. Now this time, fold your right knee, so it's like a tree, but like really wide, so Janu Shirshasana. And then do the same thing now with the folded right knee. Notice what's different. Catch the ankle or foot if you can, maybe with one or both hands. Be careful not to yank yourself deeper into this. Use your breath. Get longer first. Descend gently as you exhale. Keep your right hip heavy. Your right knee pressing back behind you. Eventually let your head drop if you can. And then come back up. Straighten right leg. Right fingers outside the leg. Back of the left hand outside the thigh or outer knee. And then slide down, feel how your left buttocks wants to lift. And then slide back up, ground your left hip, and do it again. With your left pelvis heavy, notice the difference. Heavy left hip. And the next time you slide down, or actually just kidding, the next time you come up, fold the knee, Janu, and then do it again. You can stay right there, or you can hold the foot with one or both hands, fold over the leg, round the spine. Be careful not to pull yourself into it too much. Use your breath. Widen left knee. Feel left ribs moving across the body toward the right. And you'll come back upright. Straighten left leg, straddle both legs. And then tip your fingers behind you, tip your chest forward, and you can keep that, or you can take your hands inside the legs, or you can walk them further forward, or whatever you like. But flex your feet and activate your thighs. Your outer buttock pulls into the floor, into the mat. Make your side waist longer. And then bring yourself back in. Sit up. Cross your legs. Books, block, rolled blanket. Something under your hips to elevate your seat. Hands can rest on the thighs if that's alright. You can do whatever feels better for you if that doesn't work for you so well. But sit tall. Steady your breath. Steady your attention to a sweetly paced in, out. Simple as possible. And then exhale completely. Take in 1/3 of a breath. Pause. 2/3 of a breath. Pause. Completely fill. Hold briefly. Exhale completely. Again, 1/3 in. Hold. 2/3 in. Hold. Completely fill. Hold briefly. Exhale completely. Once more, 1/3 in. Pause. 2/3. Pause. Fill. Hold full. Exhale when you're ready. Now breathe in completely. Hold briefly. Exhale 1/3. Pause. Exhale 2/3. Pause. Exhale empty. Briefly pause empty. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale 1/3. Pause. Exhale 2/3. Pause. Exhale completely. Breathe, pause. Breathe in. Hold the peak one more time. Exhale 1/3. Hold. 2/3. Hold. Empty. Breathe, pause. Breathe in completely. Breathe out comfortably. Let go of the thickness of Ujjayi. can shift onto your back, or you can stay seated, or you could do legs up the wall or legs on a couch. I'm going to rest with you today, so if you're willing to remain and do what you need to otherwise. But you'll lie back in whatever position makes the most sense for you. You can rest your hands on belly/ribs, you can rest your hands on the floor beside you, but set yourself up so that you can be as heavy, as limp as possible. Watch your breath when you need something to anchor you. If you find yourself flighty, be patient and you'll find yourself eventually drifting. It's not about controlling the mind or controlling your thoughts. It's just allowing for stillness. To realize it as a practice. If you have the time and you'd like to rest longer, you're welcome to, but you should expend just enough energy to put your feet on mute, because I'm going to talk us out of this otherwise. So start to move your tongue, let your breath become more expansive in the belly. Roll to one side when you feel ready. Move in other ways if you need to. And when you are able, come toward a seat. Use a prop. Don't sit tall. Acknowledge your efforts. Acknowledge those around you as far apart as we might actually be, that there is a sense of community that is being felt, I think, through a lot of this work we're doing online. So I appreciate your presence so much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting me and the studios that we teach at and the Toronto community in general. And then all of you around who I haven't been able to connect with in a long time, which I'm really excited about too. So thank you for coming. I hope you will join me again soon. I'll be here every Sunday. And Eric and I might be adding a Pilates-ish class. I know we keep saying it and we haven't actually booked it, but we will think about that for maybe this week.
If you want to turn your thing on and say anything, you're welcome to. Can I see you? Hi, Camille.
It's Scotty.
Thank you.
Scotty.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Always so good. Thanks from Minneapolis. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Thanks, Tanya.
Hey, Nina.
Hey, hey, hey.
There's a lot going on now.
All right, everyone. Have a blessed
Bye.
day. Take care.
See you soon. Hi, Tori.
Have a good day.
Ray.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Sam.
Nice to see you.
You too. Miss you.
Good outside.
What?
Enjoy the sunshine.
I know, right? So nice.
I was debating bringing my mat out to the balcony, but I don't think my Wi-Fi would make it.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye. Hi, Chen. Did you happen to notice how many were in there earlier on? Did you notice how many were in there earlier on?
36 was the earliest that was the one I saw, but that was pretty good.
At some point there were 40, but I lost a bunch of them. There were only 35, but they have 34 by now. So I have another class now at Union.